Okay, here we are back in Monster Hunter Rise. So, unfortunately, part 41 to 42 have some audio problems. I'm going to be redoing those fights. We just need to hunt, okay. So, the 40th part had Royal Ludroth as its first part. I'm not going to bother with the whole eating thing because we shouldn't need it. I'm just going to go in there and try and gun it down. If you can't tell from my equipment and just the quest list, this is after I've completed all the content in the April update. You can probably even tell the dog's wearing Kushala Daura gear. I'm mainly doing this for completionist sake. I'm not going to cut off the Ludroth's tail, though. Let's go this way. Oh, I should down a ration. This is going to be overkill, I think. So there's no ward to worry about. The thing that is different is one attack. Let's see. No, it's not this one. He might actually have a second attack that's completely new, but one of his attacks just behaves different. So the waves will continue after hitting the ground. So just backstepping isn't enough. You either have to sidestep or find a way to block it. So I don't know. The heavy shields probably can absorb it. If not, you may need one to guard up or something. He's getting ready to leap. It's right there, a blast triggered. But the gun I'm using is the Narcocuba one. I don't think I actually had this part. I think I'm still using the PCG one. Main thing though is it has the leviathan body, so I am trying to basically abuse how it pierces the distance. So I'm gonna jump. Sidestep. I may also not have my god charm back then. Yeah, just a simple sidestep would suffice. Anyway, if you want to cut off the tail, you can get a Royal Ludroth tail, maybe a wyvern jump. He doesn't really have anything rare or unique to himself. Unfortunately, I don't recommend building this stuff anyway because it's water element, and still there are better water elementals out there. That was horrible. I fired that a little too soon, otherwise I could have hit him when it was on its way down. So he's piecing out. See, I don't think Geo or Totus will appear here just yet, but he's the better water element of the two. So in the interest of speed, I wouldn't do this, or I'd just immediately launch afterwards. Just I'm going to smack him around for having the nerve to interrupt. Wow, that sucked. So I just did the launcher, so that way we can go from one to the other. I'm not trying to optimize shiny drops or anything, because Ludroth stuff is nothing special. Now upside the head, upside the head, and now the finisher. Of course, the cat was the one. Yeah, the Ludroth has a bit more bite if you're melee because he may roll over on you. And then if you're using the type of gear you should have around this stage, he'll take a little bit more damage than I would, but still, he's not meant to be a challenge by any stretch. You missed. There goes my mines over there, the Vibrant Blast, whatever it's called. That might actually be a new move, I can't really remember. I barely bother with this guy in high rank with opening. Now in Try, I did get the Spiral Lance off of him because there were just fewer monsters, so therefore less competition for the better water element. He also had Legiacris, who was a thunder element, so that did help. So, what all do I need to get here? A hunting helper, I think a bug, and I'll round up my quests. There we go. That's not a helper. At the very least, I can grab the bug that's over here. There is a helper up there in the temple, it's just not worth the time investment. Grab the bug, man. Couldn't get to the Cobra in time. Had I managed to grab the bug on my way through, then yeah, I could have grabbed that and been on my way. But just keep in mind, if you wanted to speed run this sucker, feel free to eat and get some favorable skills. It only took 6 minutes without eating. Had I ate, it would have been much, much more brutal and one-sided. So, next up is Basarios. I would recommend taking Pierce against him for, well, the fact that his body is hard as a rock. Go figure, right? So, let's report these. So make sure that's hunt and not capture. That's Baroth and Basarios. Here we are. Now for Basarios, you actually do want to cut off his tail, and I guess I can aim for that. Is there... Nah. I was gonna look and see if there was something that just further enhanced my braking capability, but I'm not gonna bother. So just reloading and going out. Now Basarios, his rare is called the Basarios Tears, which is unique to him. It's fairly difficult to get, and I actually did need one for one of the weapons I built. So I've actually done quite a bit of farming on this guy. I will cut off the tail just to show it, just know that he's a little tricky, and he's... If you're going to use a blade, just be aware that you need to make sure your sharpness is optimal at most times, otherwise you're going to bounce off. I was testing a weapon against him earlier, and white sharpness works fine, but you're not going to have that at this stage. And I've yet to find any weapons with purple sharpness, so I don't even know if they're in the game yet. But otherwise, if you want a gun, make sure you go over there for your latchberry, come over here for your slicing rounds. gun I'm using will probably allow me to cut off his tail fairly easily, but you won't have access to this. And in case you're really curious about my set, let's switch over to this. I'm not going to worry about that because Basarios is not really that difficult if you're going to find him from range. He is only dangerous up close and personal. I thought there was another one here, but I guess not. Anyway, he is straight ahead.
Yes.
I think I had a mushroom quest, so let's grab this. Those are latchberries right there if you really need them. I managed to get the third one off in time. That was lame. Now you're able to mine his back and he will try to pretend to be a rock at times. I didn't bring any barrel bombs. I barely use them, to be honest, because I don't even sleep bomb really. But those can be pretty helpful for getting through his armor. The hard part about getting his tail is that he rolls over all the time. Ironically, what's different between this video and the final one for April is I did farm Raknikadaki between videos so that I could get the parts to make the recoil gems. So my slicing rounds here actually fire more quickly than they will in the final one I've recorded chronologically. He's doing his beam. Try to remember where the slicing or the slash berries are over here. If you want to take the time to look around, I know there should be some somewhere around here. Eventually you will get a access to a skill called Partbreaker, which makes it easier to sever pieces of the enemy. When you're farming them, I would recommend using that rather than trying to do it the difficult way like I am. And since I damaged his paralysis stat, or you want to call his paralysis, or his status HP, I mean, we'll go ahead and use these. So there wasn't carrying full paralysis, or he doesn't have a lot of resistance to it. As for the parts on his body that break, the stomach, the back, the face, you want to make sure you do break his face in order to maximize your chances of getting the tears. It has a chance to appear as a reward if you break the face. telegraphed and easy to evade. Now, if you're wondering why my stamina is flickering, that means the latent power skill is in effect, so I'm gaining a little bit of extra affinity. The chest piece I'm wearing is an ogre, so I have that in effect. Now his face is turning red, which means the rock is softening and he's becoming descending devil of sorts. Tell Capcom to bring out Gravios. Now if you're trying to break his face, the way he rolls will usually favor that. So if you look, the ridges on his face have changed, primarily by not being there, which means the face is missed. Now for him, I would recommend capturing him if you need the tears. If not, don't bother. Prior to basil juice being added to the game, he had the best gun light set. He finally hit me. Took him almost 10 minutes. I almost walked into that. I think he stepped in a cat line, maybe. I was curious if that did anything. But once you manage to break a piece of his body, you usually want to focus that to optimize your damage. Before I forget, let's make sure we cut the tail. Come on, tears. Meh. There are some slash berries. That was his back that should have just gave out. I don't know if his wings can be damaged. Marker is up here, which means he's making his last stand. He needs to work on his roar a bit more. That's the fastest you ever see him move. Here. And we can try to knock him around a little bit. So if the mud weren't there... 500 damage, wow. If the mud weren't there, the fire would be more effective. We're not actively looking at them, so who cares? I could have did the launcher if I wanted to mount him instead, but I imagine there's just not much left. Yeah, I'm actually going to let him go because I want to try to collect stuff. Some more Baroth mud. That. Leaves some things we desired. Anyway, latchberries are right here. Grabbing that for gunpowder. That's what I'm using to make my new Pierce rounds. Spread it. Where'd I ever use a spread to shot at? There he is. So this would be when you normally want to set up your bombs. Okay, time for the explosive finale. So combine these with barrel bombs if you really want to sleep blast something. Good night. Wow. I gotta give you a little bit of props though, man. He took 4 extra shots, don't you? Now he should have 4 carves. You can get Carbide ore out of him. If you're just getting into high rank, then you may be able to put it to use, but I have like 100 of it that I can't do anything with other than pawn off. So yeah, he took a little bit longer than Ludroth. Part of that was I didn't take the food skills, so yeah. Not really a big deal though. Grabbing this just for more points. I basically spent all my money theory crafting sets earlier, so I need to replace what I can get. Basarios, Plura. Oh, right, I didn't... we did get the tiers, though, so this is his rare. You're more likely to get it from capping him, but hey, I'll take it nonetheless. So yeah, you can see right there I'm Hunter rank 64 for whenever you see the... it's going to be basically random multiplayer stuff between this video and the May update, unless there's more videos that have compromised audio, such as 41 and 42, which I'll be doing in a moment. So I'm the Hero of Light, thanks for watching, and goodbye.